Okay, we're getting ready to level it, and here's our levels on this side. But this is kind of irrelevant right now because it's going to be way off by the time we get it off the Jeep. The first thing that's got to happen is we got to put our wheel back under the Jeep. So this is down. This is the wheel that we took off place. It's got a hole. I'm going to have my back to you unless I get on the other side. Okay, there's a hole down here. It goes through, and it's always fun getting through the other side. Sometimes you're lucky enough. Other times you really hope you don't spend too much time doing this. Okay. Okay. Oh, there we go. We got it. All right, put that over so it's locked into place. We let's see, right? Going right. We did our pre-check. We dropped the top again. We're free advance. And now let's make it, for example, we're at our campsite now. We're still in the driveway. We're at our campsite. There's actually a yellow plastic thing I normally put on the ground. So this wheel sits in there. And now I got pressure on it. I'm actually lifting the Jeep. So I want to pull this guy back, the latch back, so it actually comes off the Jeep and raises. Now I'm worried that this thing is going to, notice which way I have the wheel. Okay, I have it this way. If we have it this way, it's going to want to roll with gravity. So that's probably another safety issue. If we're pulling up the Jeep or not, we'd have to move around the Jeep to get it to release. Right now, we're free floating. Okay, we need to get the Jeep out of the way, and we have cleared. Now what I did is I took the front here and I lowered that all the way down to the bottom, and what it did is it lifted up the back all the way up. And what I did is I put jacks on the bottom. Okay, and it's got about 4 stanchions there. It's behind the pivot point, which is the wheel. So now what I'm hoping I could do is I could lift it up now, and this has happened in the past. This is how I normally level out something. What I'm looking at is this bubble to be kind of centered. I want it to be, the bubble will be on this side for now. I'm going to lift it up. I'm still off going this way. Worry about that later on. Okay, I really like to be kind of weight off the wheels. Right now we're on 0, and on this side, the bubble's on this side. Bring it up high enough to get the other. I'm hoping I can get these other ones in. These are relatively larger. I can slide them in, and they're not going to fit. They're not going to fit in there. So I'm going to bring it up some more. But leveling out something, if you don't have an automatic one with the new trailers out, it's a lot of fun. So it's still not quite in there. But right now the weight is on those two in the back. Now I'm going to bring this as far back as I can without hitting any plumbing or anything, and it's in spot right now. It's bottomed out actually because they're bigger. I'm going to get the other one over here. Drop that down, bring it over on this side, and we have a support bar there. And this is probably why the bubble is on this side, on this. So there we go, we're coming down now. Let's see what happens. Slowing down, and the weight is now off this wheel. Let's see where we're at. We're at about 2. So right now the back needs to come up some more. Alright, not a problem. So what we need to do now is we have scissor jacks we have to actually start doing all the adjusting. The nice thing that we have, though, we have 5 things that's going to stable this. This wheel is going to actually have weight on wheel. That's going to help stabilize it on this side. Then you're going to have 2 more here. Vice, you know, the only thing that came with this was 2 stanchions in the back and this wheel up here. That didn't do any stability. This thing wobbled when people were inside, and it just really, it was a very poor night when somebody would be moving on one side and it moved the whole thing, you know, at nighttime. So putting 4 jack stands on it and the wheel just makes it a lot better. It's more stable. So the idea is to work this, adjust it, and have yourself a scissor jack, have 4 jack stands, and get it to where this bubble is on 0 and this bubble is on 0. And once that happens, the drainage on top is going to be just right to where when water runs, it will drain the right way. So if you don't have this leveled out, that's where the problem is going to be. Is your drainage will not be working right. All right, so I'm going to keep leveling it. I'm not going to bore you with the video. And then I've already showed you on when we were cleaning this. Actually, I didn't show it to you yet. I'm going to insert it after this video. Doing the initial raise, and then in fact, it was on the Jeep when I did that. So I'll probably include some more things in that, and then putting the safety supports in and so on, and get things hooked up. Okay, this is the final outcome. Have a scissor jack there, a jack here. That's where I am with the bubble. Just a little bit off to the aft. Pretty darn close to 0 there. I have a little tension on that just to have the weight on it, on the wheel in the front. We're on a jack there, a big jack. This jack has no weight on it whatsoever. We're on a scissor jack with some spacers underneath. Those spacers could be bought at any RV place or boat place probably. We'll have those. So our key test is going to be how well that door, when it comes down, how well it aligns. So I'm going to insert the other video now of us putting this the top up, and I'm going to actually extend it all the way out and see how it looks. Slowly showing you how to raise it up and get it all set up. So right here, okay, we have the last pass that we're going to do. I'm loosened, all 4 of them unloosened right now. And then I'm going to show you over here. We're going to get inside the compartment. That's where our latch is. So we're going to raise this up a little bit. And open up our compartment. This is what we're looking for inside here. Okay, that's going to be used to crank this thing up. I'm bringing the tripod over to the front. Whoa! I kicked it, sorry. And then I'm going to have my son on the other side. We're going to crank this guy. Now, down at the bottom you should have which way to crank. Okay, turn this way to raise it, and do not turn this way to over tight it neither. So we're going to go clockwise to bring it up. Okay, I'm going to pause a minute. Okay, and we're going to show more of this thing going up than me cranking it. So we're going to, there's a tension string that's going to be in here that you're going to be looking at. So, we're going up. I want to get all the cobwebs, go around and make sure all the cobwebs are taken off. My son on top of it. Keep cranking. Okay, this is the tension wire that I'm talking about. Okay. You want to make it sound like a guitar string. Make sure I can see it on there. Okay, usually it's red in color. Okay, bring it up. There it is. It's like a guitar string. Not too tight. We're not out to kill it or anything. Okay, before we get in there and do anything, we want to put our support bars on everything. And hopefully those are right up front. We got to pull out all this stuff. Oh, I hope. There they are. And one goes on the opposite end. One's going to go here, one's going to go on that one on the other side. So that's where it's going to go. So those are going to make sure that while we're inside, that it's not going to. Hey Ken, you know how to do this, right? Hey, a narrow part like this. Look through the window. Hey, okay, this narrow part is going to go up first. So we're going to slide it up there. We're going to plop it in. It sits down. That is extremely, probably the most safest thing you could do. Now we can walk in there and it's not going to collapse on us. Okay? So now what we could do, we're done raising it. We can actually take this bar out and put it down. Now, it's been about 2 years since we've used this, so expect the worst, you know, ants and things like this. Something I want to show you real quick. See that little void down there where those pipes are? That's over there. That's a bunch of space where you can store pipes and tubes, and you have to be careful about the plumbing on the sink. So when the top comes down, there's nothing that's going to hit there. And in fact, that mattress over there will be pushed in to cover it. Excellent place to put to store items that you need. One in which is this guy right here. This is going to be the support for the mattress that comes out, and it's going to lock into place like this. Okay, on both sides. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm not really worried about my face getting into it, just the idea that you can see how this works out. So when I pick this up, one person can actually do this. You're going to put it into the eye on each side of the nose that's closest to the back, that's away from you, and put these resting inside. This is where the mattress is going to slide on top for support. Okay, and it needs a lot of support too. So I want to show you where on the front, there's 2 holes there, and it goes into the one away from the ball. Okay, this is going to come up, actually go into those little slots, and there's one on each side. And then what can happen is we can go ahead and pull this out now the right way, because I had to push it back in. So I forgot about this. I actually had to look in the manual. And one thing, and I'll reiterate this again, these little guys here, all right, make sure you unstrap them from here, because what will happen, you'll break these off if you push it in and you don't have a set. So I'm going to see if I can, let's see, I'm going to lower the legs of the tripod. Sorry for the vibrating and stuff that you're seeing, but I'm actually lowering this for a minute. See if we can get underneath and look up. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 2 more supports. They're shorter bars. 2 short bars. And what we're going to do, we're going to have to use some of our back, or have somebody else push up to put this in, and hope they both don't. You're going to put this in the other one, and it's going to go in the slot up there. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing on this side. You're going to go into the slot without the other one popping out. The other one didn't pop out, and we do have weight on the wheel. Okay, because this is going to be all on that wheel. When somebody's sleeping up on that mattress, the weight's on that wheel. Okay, and then we're going to go around and strap all these up again, all the way around. And that's going to be, you don't have to sit there and watch me do that. All right, but these are the straps I'm talking about. We'll strap all those around. They'll get nice and tight once the stanchion inside will be. Next thing is we're going to do the back. The back has a little different extension. Okay, to show you, and I need to actually refresh my memory on how to do that again. So I'll be right back. Okay, I had to put the mattress back in. Once again, we have the area that's going to be latched in there. I have one of these on already. One goes there, and one goes into an area underneath there. And that's the area right there. It's a little slot that this one's going to go into. And I'm actually going to demonstrate that right now. First we that in, and then slide that one in. It's in there good. Lift this up, grab the two handles, slide that in spot, and once again latch these up. So important stuff. You know, I had to pull these out anyway and to actually get access to the bars, because I had put them in that one area of the seat, and you have to move the mattresses to get those out. So you know, it takes some practice. Okay, I'm going to pause this while I get this set up, and then we're going to go inside. Down below we have the ladder. Lift up, and you sit there. That's the ladder. Let me get all the manuals out of the way. I did have to refer to these to get the thing out. We got a fuse here. I'll show you where that goes pretty soon. I think there's two fuses someplace. I don't know if there's another one inside. Some pins in there. Those are the pins to hold the canopy when it comes out. So we're going to take a step inside now, and I'm hoping that I get a good view in there while I'm doing things. There are two beds. This one is the big bed, and the other one's a small bed. Two bars. This one be for the overhead. Do not adjust these. They're already pre-adjusted. So I'm going to put this over here for this bed, and I'm going to show you how to put these in. Okay, we're going to go up on top, trying to get up where the light is. Slide it over. Yeah, that's about close enough. So now here's a little adapter here. Okay, it's right here. You're going to have this handle in opposition. You're going to grab in between two screws here and push it up. I'm going to come up here, and there's a little area to put this. Push the needle in, and it's in place. Hope that came out pretty good. But now that is a bed. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Actually, something else has to be done first. I'm going to move them. Wow, this is going to be fun. I'm really hoping. I got to get on the bed now. I'm 240 pounds, so a bed holds pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten that down. We're going to do the sink real quick. Now the sink is underneath some mattresses. We're going to move this up over here. We got to move these pillows. Okay, down here is your water tank that we're not going to use. That's your table. So these are the two extensions. We're going to bring this up, and I hope figures that bed is not out far enough. The bed has to be out far enough for this to clear. And go figure. So we got to climb up. Do not climb up on the sink. We can climb up over here. Push that out. Oh, this is fun. This is probably where two people would come in handy. I got my knee underneath it, so it'll clear. So, make sure everything's cleared out of it before you do this. Okay, it's going to make a switch. It's a switch that'll actually turn these lights on. The lights won't work unless that switch is made. There are clamps that can be clamped in the back, specifically on the other side. I don't think there's one on this side. I'll clamp this down. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, I have a tank. This is in Virginia. You need to dispose your wastewater, no matter if it's sink, whatever it is, has to go in here and be dumped. So Virginia is the only state I know of that now. I'm sure there's other states. These are stops. Okay, if we're on a hill or something, that's good. This is our hose for outside. Okay, there's one hose that we use, and I think it's around here someplace, or we didn't pack it. It might be underneath. These are storage, that's the storage container over there. So this looks like our water supply to actually get water to water source coming into the trailer. There's well, I'll tell you what, it is hot. Whew. Okay, there's we're going to come over here now. All right, I don't know if I really hope this is an angle. I see it's a little slanted too, but oh well. Okay, this guy's in an up position. We're going between the two screws here and clamping this in place, pushing this out, and going into the hole up here, hitting the little thing, and in it goes. Voila, we have a bed. Okay, the door, well, I'm probably going to mess this up anyway. So the door, well, that closes nice and easy. Let's just hope the rest of it does. Okay, the door is a little fun thing to do. So, okay, we're going to take, there's two twist things inside on top. We're going to release that one and twist to release this one and bring it down. Okay, there is Velcro on the outside, actually on the inside of both sides of the fabric. Okay, you have to lift up here to set it down inside. There's two bars, one on each side of this. This little lock comes up. You have to set the bar down inside. Push this down. Lock these into place. And then lock this guy. There's a little button they have to push to release it. Latch in and lock it down. When you open up, you have to unlock that too. And it should open up nice. And latch. I think we're pretty much balanced. Even though we're a little bit off. Now, a sign of not being in very good, when you close this, and this part doesn't close. That means you're not balanced very good. So we're going to come over here and push our Velcro on. We don't want to overlap to where it's going to interfere with this being closed. We can't really reach out and do this one, so I would either have somebody else do it or actually go outside and push it in. Which I'll just go outside and push it in. But that's how you put the door on. And it's closed. The main purpose of this part of the video is to elaborate a little bit on the underside of this door. I'm going to undo what I did to show you. Okay, put this one down and lift it out. Okay, that's basically how I take the door apart. So anyway, up here I unlatched the two latches. You don't just need to see that. The important part to see is this part right here, which is there's one on both sides, and there's holes in the frame, not on the door, it's on the outer frame that's going to go down. So this piece of rubber here stays down. Alright, it's going to be underneath. Okay, both the poles are going to go in. They go in relatively easy on both sides. Okay, you're going to pop the top in, push pressure on it, and clamp those down. This guy right here, you're going to push this button down. Okay, I can do it with one hand. Okay, and it releases it. You're going to clamp it on there, and then you're going to make this door become one. And then opening it, once you undo the latch up there, opening it, and then closing it, and the top is actually in. You don't have to pull that top in. So that's how you check the level of the door, and you can secure it that way. And what I want to do while I'm here too is up on top, right here, is two levers. You push this, bring it up. You can either go from the bottom or up on top, the same thing, and bring it down. And you have a screen. There's a screen up there for ventilation, which with the windows on the other side is the same way. In fact, we're going to do that, swing around to the other side here. Okay, I'm going to zoom out, I hope. Out the other way. Okay. And this is a zipper that comes out. And the zippers wrap all the way around. And I like bringing down a half of it. And that gives me some ventilation, cross ventilation there. So that's it for now. And you can actually drop the ones in the front and the back around the window back there, all the way around. And it's the same way on the other side. And there's actually zippers on the side there, on both sides of the bed. I mean, everything opens up to where you can have ventilation going through, which is really nice. Okay, this is where the electrical outlet is. And as you see, they won't fit. So typically you would take this and hook it up to the pole where the water and the electricity is. So that's the adapter that came with it. It'll go right in the spot there, and then power will go on right here. Alright, so once that's on, okay, once you have power hooked up, you can come over here inside this panel. And I'm really hoping that let me see if I can zoom in. I want to go, whoop, I'm going that way. I thought I was actually, okay, there's a warning there, turn on only one energy source at a time. Now we have 3 energy sources here. Let's see if I can get over to that. If we had a propane tank that was fully charged, and I don't like using propane for this purpose, we can actually set this to high, medium, ignite, and it'll produce the power. We have 112 volts out there, and that's what's going to supply our power, so we're going to turn this on. And what that does now is our refrigerator is now turned on, and any lights that we want to use. If we're traveling, we're disconnected from power, but we want to keep that refrigerator going, we would turn this off and turn on the 12 volts, which would be the battery. Okay, so the battery will charge that for a while. It's a deep cycle battery. It's made for that kind of stuff. So that's how you would turn on your power in your vehicle, in the camper. Okay, the water supply of the hose, it goes in right where the panels are, where you turn on the power. And the power cord, the power supply is back there. And when I will show you that the pressure regulator does not go, in my opinion, does not go on the trailer side of the hose. I would rather the pressure regulator go on this side and actually plugged in to your water supply. The reason for that is I have seen way too many times when somewhere along the hose is rupturing and spraying all over the place because the pressure regulator is on that side of the hose. So this would actually save your hose if you put the pressure regulator on this side. Just a helpful idea, and hopefully that'll work out for you. Now the drain for your sink or any other plumbing in your area, this is my winterization here. And you would hook up a hose, a disposal hose out here. Now in Maryland, currently you can run the hose straight on the downsides, downslope, or away from the trailer. It'll go right in the ground. They don't care. But if you are the environmentalist type, and also in Virginia, I know for a fact, you need a tank. Okay, for any kind of disposable water, whether it's soap, fresh water, you're just rinsing your hands, whatever it is, you need to run that hose into the tank. Okay, I don't have a hose right now to plug into this, otherwise I'd show you, but it's very important that you have a tank in order to do this. Okay, we're going to go in and do some things. And one thing I want to point out is I have power hooked up on the outside. I do have the green one pressed down for outside power. The red one is not pressed down, turned on. The battery I just charged. Okay, so it's still disconnected, still missing that one fuse. So we're going to walk around and take a step in. And we're going to go set up the inside. Okay, with the power on the outside hooked up, I'm going to turn on the lights inside. There's one here and there's one on the other side. All we need is this one right now. Now what I'm going to show you is how to hook up the, set up the table and hook up the air conditioning. So the power cord for the air conditioning runs around a hook up here. This is the one side. Over here is just sitting on top of some hooks and it comes down. It's going to plug in down there someplace. This is actually a bed. So you got one single bed here, a bed here, and a double over there. And actually we'll put a sleeping bag on the floor too. So these are also our cushions that we're going to use for our seats. We're going to take these off. I'm going to pull up our table. It's just sitting on stuff. So we have another sleeping bag. We have a couple of pillows. We have a microwave. Hey, look at what I found. That's the drainage hose that goes into the bucket. So we came across that, that's nice. All right, this is a pole that's going to go into a, you can't see it from there, but there's a thing in the ground, you can't miss it. This is a hot plate that we throw in here too, so it's going to help out with cooking. All right, and we're going to take one of the, there's two outlets, actually there's only one. There's one outlet over here. And we're going to plug that in. Okay, so that's set up. We can actually run this, take the wires out of the wrist, and actually run this down. There is an area for this, and open this up. And actually tuck it in there. And it'll be down there. So that's out of the way. What we're going to do is, let me make sure that we have a good video, good picture of this. Okay, up on the air conditioning now. There's some, it's on the off now. And there's a low fan. This is high fan, low cool, high cool. There's a gouge over here with a small and a most. It's a thing that goes very wide to a narrow. And we've always tried to figure out what that was, and the book actually tells you. And the biggest is the most cool, so cool air should be coming out of that. Now what's going to happen is the drainage for this is going to go down your lowest point outside. This is the reason why you need to have a good balance, is that the drainage for the dehumidifier and all will be going down. Now, the key thing here is this, there's no insulation. This is all fabric. So this thing's going to be running all night long. And nice thing is, when you're on a campsite, you're not paying a meter. Most campsites, at least military-wise, military bases that we go on, don't require, you know, so one time or a daily fee or weekly fee for using the spot. Nothing as far as metering the time that is on the electronic meter. So anyway, then now this is the table down here. Okay, we have the pole on. We're going to take this. There's a thing down there. It's set on top of the pole. And there's our. We have a cushion here. We take one of the small ones. I like putting the zipper and the tag in the back. Okay. And there you are. There's a seat. Got a microwave. The zipper and the tag in the back. My preference. You can do anything you want. Once again, the zipper in the back and the tag in the back. There's our seats. Now, right where the camera is, take this and move it over to the table, I guess. And move this over here. Okay, There's 2 outlets on this side, on the right side. So we plug the microwave, and this is turned on. Just turn it off. Okay, turn it off. The refrigerator is running. It's already a little cool. Only time will tell if that actually cools down. And we do have put a clock in here because sometimes you want to be woken up certain times. So that's something that hooks up on the other part here. So that's hooked up. We have a seat, and we're going to stop the video now and move on to something else. Okay, I like a little light on the subject, so I'm going to take this that has there's a Velcro strip here. It's running on a string on both cases because you don't want this blowing onto the stove. So we're going to wrap this around. Goes around the back, comes around the front. Velcro on. Okay, same thing with this. Comes around the back, comes around the front. Move these back. So I like a little light coming on this. This has a little latch here. You have to move, and this comes up. And it should be clean. Okay, there is a stanchion. Okay, but for the purpose of wanting to see this, this is your anti-grease. You know, you don't want grease and stuff going all over the place. I will clean this up before. Now there is a warning here. Don't use this as a space heater, so leave this turned off. The propane tank should be filled up before using. You have to go outside, turn that on, and then you go ahead and turn this on. I don't see anything that does automatic light, so we'd carry a lighter with us and go ahead and light it up. Okay, I have the drain going into the bucket. Okay, I want to show you also outside here underneath, there's a switch that turns on the light. I'm going to walk around. Okay, I hooked up the hose, and what I did is I hooked it straight to here. I'm not worried about my house rupturing anything. So you want to make sure there's very little or no leaks dripping down. And what happened is, down here, okay, this little guy right here, we'll point that out later on. That's a drain when you go to drain all the water out of the system. That's the drain that you open up, and I left that open. So we're going to walk inside now and put you on a tripod. Alright, I want to take that out because I don't want anything being held back. There's going to be a lot of spitting here. First time the water's coming through. And it drains. There is no hot water. It's all the same thing. It's all cold water. It all drains. It should drain. There's nothing in there. Let's use my hand as a suction cup. There should be nothing stopping it from draining. Oh, there. Okay, it's and it drains. There it goes. It's not the fastest drain in the world, but you gotta understand it's just a hose going out. There should be no water coming down underneath. It's all dry. It's flooded before, so I know sticking my hand in there would be all wet. So we have good water pressure. Put that back in. So this thing is ready to rock. That is the final. I don't think there's anything other than putting the carpet on the floor. Wipe your fingers off, you know, your feet off. All right, so there's some. I think once you're all set up, you'll have a good time. And guess what? It's comfortable here. The AC is working.